In the year 2000, two businessmen walked toward Blockbuster headquarters carrying an offer that would later become legendary in the history of entertainment. Their company was young, small, and losing money. It had existed for only a few years, and its future was far from certain. The proposal sounded simple: acquire their struggling company for roughly $50 million, and gain a foothold in the emerging online rental market. Blockbuster rejected the offer. The small company those executives turned away was Netflix, a name that still meant very little at the time. Within a decade, Blockbuster would collapse while Netflix kept growing. Yet the decision was more complicated than a careless failure to see the future. Before streaming, Friday night entertainment often began with a drive to a video store, where families searched for something everyone could watch. Inside, long walls were packed with new releases, comedy, action, horror, games, and almost every kind of movie imaginable. For millions of families, visiting Blockbuster became a weekend ritual: choose a film, grab some snacks, and take the experience home. At its peak, the company controlled thousands of stores around the world, supported by enormous recognition, millions of customers, and billions in revenue. Blockbuster was not trying to become the king of video rental. It already was, and that dominance made the next threat easy to underestimate. In 1997, Reed Hastings and Marc Randolph founded Netflix from a modest startup operation in California, experimenting with a very different rental model. This was not the Netflix we know today. There was no streaming, no original programming, and no instant entertainment on a television screen. Customers chose a movie online. Netflix placed the DVD inside a red envelope, mailed it to their home, and waited for its return. The idea removed a frustrating step. You no longer had to drive across town, search crowded shelves, or wait at a checkout counter. Then Netflix attacked one of the most disliked parts of traditional movie rental: due dates, unexpected charges, and the anxiety of late fees. Customers hated those fees, but they generated real revenue for Blockbuster. Removing them meant weakening a profitable part of the existing business. Netflix had no vast retail empire to protect. It could experiment with subscriptions, distribution, and online behavior without thousands of stores holding it back. Blockbuster faced the opposite problem. The larger its physical empire became, the harder it was to turn, like a giant ship changing course. Then came the meeting in 2000, later remembered as one of the most famous missed opportunities in modern corporate history. Netflix was struggling as the dot-com boom began to unravel. The company was losing money, and its founders were searching for a way forward. They proposed that Blockbuster acquire Netflix for around $50 million, a modest figure compared with the value Netflix would eventually reach. The combination seemed powerful: Blockbuster would dominate physical stores, while Netflix would operate the online business and home delivery network. But Blockbuster was not interested. Its executives saw a small, money-losing internet company asking a successful market leader for tens of millions. From their perspective, rejection looked rational. Blockbuster had stores, revenue, and a famous brand. Netflix had losses, envelopes, and uncertain potential. But the world started moving. Internet connections became faster, DVD players spread, and online shopping became normal inside millions of homes. Netflix improved its subscription model, distribution system, and recommendations. Each improvement made renting online simpler and increased the company's customer base. Blockbuster did not simply stand still. It launched competing services and tried to combine online rentals with the advantage of its retail locations. The problem was the weight it carried: rent, electricity, employees, inventory, maintenance, and management across thousands of expensive physical stores. Netflix could shape itself around new consumer behavior. It was smaller, lighter, and able to invest directly in the technology changing the market. Blockbuster had to rebuild an empire while still operating it. The very scale that once made it powerful now made every turn slower. In 2007, Netflix introduced online streaming, making the arrival of a DVD no longer the destination. The physical product itself could disappear. Press a button and the movie begins. No store, no drive, no postal delay, and no disc waiting to be returned. Blockbuster's greatest advantage had been its huge network of locations. In a streaming world, that advantage suddenly became an expensive problem. Debt, competition, and changing habits began to pile up. The company was fighting a digital battle while carrying the cost of a physical empire. Stores that once symbolized dominance became financial liabilities. Empty aisles and fading traffic turned valuable locations into a burden on the company. In 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy protection, only 10 years after rejecting the opportunity to acquire Netflix for around $50 million. Netflix kept expanding, then moved beyond distributing other companies' movies. It began producing original series, films, and entertainment for audiences around the world. The deeper lesson is not simply that Blockbuster was foolish. It was designed extremely well for a world that was beginning to disappear. In 2000, Netflix looked tiny and Blockbuster looked untouchable. 10 years later, the giant was collapsing while the small company reshaped entertainment. The greatest threat to an empire may not be a competitor playing the same game. It may be someone quietly building an entirely new one.